Okay, now so let's go to another area, which has to do with your sight.
Okay.
When did this all started happening? Like, because I think at this juncture, was it in the as a teacher and technical that you started having problems with the sight?
No, like I told you, I used to have some problems with my head, headaches, blurry vision. I used to have floaters, but still I used to see well. Yes, because I had glasses. I used to use glasses. But if somebody had told me you will go blind, I would have told that person, that's a lie and you're a witch, right? That would have been the first thing to say, right? So why are you saying that to me? Like, do you love me or not? I'll have a bad feeling about the person, right? But then they used to have missionaries coming to Freetown, which was free, and they would do a lot to help people in churches. And actually, they used to be at the Key too. The Mastership, the Dollarship.
Yeah, the Mastership.
Yes.
It's still in town. As of now, as I'm talking to you, it's still
okay.
there. The Mastership is
It was free, and they used to help a lot. So it was through one of our churches. And one of the ladies told me to come in because she said, I know you have problems, but just come. I was so scared, right? Because I had all these floaters. But mind you, I wasn't thinking about something worse happening to me.
Sorry.
It was just, the surgeries. By then, those surgeries were not very successful and all that kind of thing. So my grandmother too did not want me to do any surgery. I should have done one when I was 6 years old. But she said no, because of all the mistakes that were made in Africa. So I went into the examination room, they did everything, and the lady called me. Everybody was leaving, and they were telling them, go and buy this or go to the pharmacy, there are free drugs there. And I was the only one that they called. So I went to the back. They had all these curtains that they'd used to make different divisions, because it was a big church. So there's a little curtain there that they take people to, to say something that they will not want people to hear. But then it was just me. So we went, and then the lady told me. She said, you're having problems with your retina. She said, you have black floaters. I said, yes. She said, but we don't have retina specialists here. Yeah, so that day, I cried a lot. Yeah, I cried a lot because I was starting to think that something bad will happen to me, right? And then when I went to bed, I dreamt that I was blind.
Well, you dreamt about it?
Yes, I did. I woke up in the morning and everybody was saying, let us pray. Nothing will happen to you. Let us pray. But when you have a dream, you never know it's a dream. It was very vivid. And it stayed with me for a while. I was sad, I was down. Everybody was saying, just pray, nothing will happen. If you've seen it in a vision, that means God is trying to avert it. I'm like, I don't know, but I had it in my mind that, I really felt it in my body. I did, So I was thinking that this was something that I should work on. So started looking at so many things to help me, right? And then, during the war and all that, there was trauma. And then that affected my eye really badly. Yes. So we wrote letters to different organizations all over the world. And they kept telling me to rehabilitate. Anytime the letter comes back, rehabilitate. I never used to like that word.
So you don't like the word rehabilitate?
Oh, no, I do. I'll tell you. I do. I'll tell you why. When I came to Canada, it was a different thing, right? Yes. But by then, rehabilitation was a word that I would not want to hear. Because all the letters were saying, rehabilitation. So I'm like, okay, what are they saying? So I looked up the word and I started looking at things, and I spoke to this guy, Dr. Dennis, Side Savers, Dennis Williams.
Back in Freetown.
Yes. So he actually did all the tests, because after they said to rehabilitate, they were still asking about follow-up treatments. They wanted all the results, all the tests. They wanted all the x-rays. So I still kept sending them. People kept telling me, oh, don't worry, there's some good coming out of it. Nobody told you no, they are still asking for more information. Don't worry. And my friend too, she was so religious. The one that took me to the ministry for this job I was doing, right? The teaching job. Yeah. She's a pastor now, actually. So she said, this is a good sign. And then waited and waited for all these papers to be processed, right? And then my cousin here, Mohammed, he too asked us to send a lot of information. And then he went to CNIB, Canadian National Institute for the Blind. And they had doctors too that actually looked at the results and all the tests and everything. And, it was actually a whole package, right? They had to look at my age and everything, right? Yeah, and my discipline, and they know I use my eyes a lot, sewing and doing all the handwork and all the other things I used to do, right?
All of this there was a doctor the other day I spoke with you. There was a Dr. Guess you mentioned about. Was he involved in all of this?
Yes, he was in Sierra Leone.
Okay.
By then, I had to do one surgery in Sierra Leone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you did the first surgery in Sierra Leone?
Yeah, that's when he came in urban. They used to call it Saola.
Urban Center at Kisi.
Yes, urban center. That was the was it Baptist? No,
it's
Methodist.
Methodist United.
Yes,
UMC.
Yes, it was UMC.
UMC. United Methodist.
Mm-hmm, yeah. They used to go. A team of doctors and nurses, all white. They used to go to different places, right? So I think from Sierra Leone, he said he was going to Gambia after I did the surgery.
Yes.
But you know what? He prayed.
He prayed for
Yes, before we did the surgery. And he said, I've done whatever humans can do. I've done everything possible. He said, no one would have done this. No one but me. But by then I didn't know, right? He was one of the best. Yes. He was retired and he was just giving back, going around helping people. His wife was a nurse too, right? Yes.
Dr. Guest was a huge name. His name was big.
It was big, eh?
He was big, oh, yes, of course. So then, from there now.
Well, actually, the surgery gave me a few months. I was going up and I went back to teach, But then after 6 months, I started having the same problem again, floaters. And then, have you heard about tunnel vision?
Not quite.
If you go to the CNIB, they will put holes in a clear paper, on a clear paper.
You mean holes?
Yeah, they will put holes, different sizes. Well, that's how the vision deteriorates, right? You first lose peripheral vision.
Okay.
And then you start losing central vision. So it goes gradually. Until there's a little, like a pinhole. So they have all these little holes that they put on these cards. When you go into CNIB, they show you how it works. So when there's a little pin, you look through, you could barely see, right? That's how it goes. And then finally, the vision goes totally. The only thing you will have will be lights. They'll say light perception. They'll say LP. And they will say RP, retinitis pigmentosa. That was the diagnosis, right?
So you have all the...
Yes.
Oh, wow.
And I had cataracts too, right? So with the trauma, it did not help. I had just a little time for them to fix it. Otherwise, everything detaches. So my retina detached, and then everything started to detach, right? But then luckily, this doctor I was talking to you about, said I had a 50-50 chance.
Okay.
Yes.
So there were still hopes?
That was the only person.
Yeah.
Nobody. He never said rehabilitation, right?
Yeah.
Thank God. Nobody. He was the only one. Yes.
Okay. So then, from that point, was it time now to come for the rehabilitation or to move over? By that time, did you have family as yet?
Yes. I had family, right? Yes. I actually had to go to Guinea.
Okay.
When they were ready for me to actually appear in person. I had to go to Guinea, the embassy there, the Canadian embassy. And they were actually waiting for me because there was the intervention, ECOMOG intervention. Remember?
Yes,
Yes.
during the
Yes.
junta period.
Yes. I did not have time to go because it wasn't safe. So I waited and waited. They kept writing. None of the letters actually came. But we knew because Mohammed here, my cousin, called us and told us that they were waiting. So he said, make a document and let them know that there's war, there's obstruction, the borders are closed. But then when things are back to normal, you can send a message again to the embassy and then take it from there. So when things were back to normal, we went to Guinea.
So, ladies and gentlemen, you are still watching the initial video podcast of Daniel Wolf's Corner, the community's virtual platform, in collaboration with Medan Productions. And with me here is Mrs. Denisiah Ali, Auntie Denisiah, who is telling us about her situation back home in Sierra Leone, where she was a teacher, and then at some point she started having problems with the eyes, and we are now leading towards the situation whereby she was able to relocate to Canada. So let's carry on, Mrs. Ali.
Okay. Yes, coming to Canada. By then, my vision was blurry. The one eye was gone. I told you I had the tunnel vision and all. And then the other eye, which was the very soft eye that nobody could have operated on in Sierra Leone, was the eye that had this 50-50 chance.
Okay.
Which was a lucky break for me.
Whoa.
Yes. So I came to Canada and I was taken to the Canadian National Institute for the Blind. Yes.
So how was that in Canada?
Me in Halifax, Nova Scotia.
Oh.
Yes. So I went into CNIB and I was shown all these devices, I'm like, oh. In my mind, right, my cousin was just tapping me, We didn't let people see us, right?
Yeah.
With the Kongosa. That's what to say, right, in Creole. You did all these things, but you know what? These people have brought you, right? They've done so well. You have to come. They have to see in person. They have to know who you are. And you have to see the doctor as well. So I went to CNIB and then presented myself to the director, which was Robert Gannon. They were so happy to see me. The lady that was actually doing my documents, she said, oh, finally at last I can see you. She said I was on leave. I was like, don't come here when I'm not here. I'm happy you are here. She was on maternity leave. She said, oh my God. I was like, let this lady don't come because we have so much about you from your cousin. Your mom was just blowing my tops, right?
That's right. And that was good. It was good that you had somebody, your relative, or
she was like,
for them to.
If she comes here, you would love her. She's
That's
such a good art. Like, oh my God. She said, oh, we know about you. We know about you. We know everything about you. So I didn't say anything. My mouth full.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
So, when I was listening, when I did this, Auntie Denisiah, right here in Edmonton, Alberta, and they engaged so the Daniel Wolf's Corner video podcast in collaboration with Medan Productions. I do this right now. They do this interview. Well, to Denisiah, they tell with Mrs. Ali, they tell with all but himself from Sierra Leone as a teacher, onto this same way, I begin getting problem. Do one operation day. Now she's in Canada. Continue, Mrs. Ali.
Yes, so came to CNIB, right? And then after that, the serious part begins. We had to see the doctors. Yes, I wasn't looking forward to that, but I had to do it. The first thing that they did was to control glaucoma.
Okay.
Yes, I had glaucoma in both eyes, acute glaucoma. So I was put on...
What does that mean?
Glaucoma is eye pressure, actually.
Oh.
Yes. One of the causes of blindness.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Well, I would say one of the main causes of blindness.
But there are lots of other causes.
Oh, yeah, there are, yes. So I had to go on medication for a month. And then that date was fixed in August for me to do my surgery. Came into surgery. So I was there, and then couple of days actually in the hospital. People came to visit. I met most of the Sierra Leoneans, you know.
They're in Halifax.
Yes. I came, I knew a few of them, but not as many as I saw in the hospital. Yeah, my cousin was just telling people, oh, she just came, but she'll be going back after her surgery, you know. We think everything will go well. The doctor says everything went, the doctor said everything went well, you know. So I was there for 3 days, went home. After 2 weeks, they have to do another procedure,
Okay.
which was to take the bandages out.
After 2 weeks.
Yes, and then check to see what was going on. But there's a blindfold, right? So you will not know what's going on in the eye. They tell you not to bend, not to lift. They give you all these rules, right? Because they want you to heal properly before they check the eyes. So I went, and then they have this the board with the lights and all the letters printed. I had to read. But they asked me first, how many fingers can you see? They were actually close to the lights. That's how they do it. They'll put their fingers right on the lights on the board for me to see and tell them what I see. So I said, no, I just see the lights. So the doctor kept coming forward with 2 fingers or 3 fingers, as the case may be, right? Until he came right to my face. I'm like, no, nothing. So he said, can you see the light at all? I said, yes. So that's LP. So the same thing has happened to the other eye. You know, the same thing that happened to the left
eye?
one. Yeah.
Has now sort of
happened to the right eye.
To the
Yes.
right eye.
And
Okay.
I was asking them, do you think I should do this? Do you think the same thing will happen? They said, oh, would you not think after 40 or 50 years that you should have done this surgery and got the only chance that God gave you? I'm like, okay. They were talking about God, right? Because this guy was Arab, actually. He's Muslim. So he knows about God. But he was asking me, do you know anything about shushu?
What is the shushu?
Juju.
Oh, juju.
So
Oh,
my cousin had to say,
meant...
so why do you have shushu? My cousin said, no. He jumped up really quickly. He said, no, if she has juju, she will not do juju on herself. It's other people that do juju on her, not her on herself. He said, okay, I know now. She said, oh, I don't understand. So when they say juju, it's not a bad thing, right? He said, no, it's bad. It's very bad. If they work juju on you, it's bad. So he said, look, my sister. He clapped his hands and talked to my cousin too. He said, I saw new cells growing, new nerve cells growing. I saw the cells. We saw the cells. Yes, they had the camera, they had everything. They said, it's just a surprise for us to see after 2 weeks. Now, the optic nerve is showing whitish or something like grayish, you know. Yeah, I think it should be a darker color on the cameras, right? When they are doing the X-rays and stuff. They had something that they did that I actually had to go in that same day, I was there for about 3 hours. They dilate your eye
It's
and
a
then
long
yes.
time.
Mhm. Well, they want to know. So they say they've done all the tests and everything was showing whitish. You know,
Well, that
that means the
was it
nerve was
positive?
dead. My nerves were dead.
Oh no. So, Mrs. Ali, at this juncture, what were your plans?
I was just thinking, now I have to go back to Sierra Leone. What will I be doing? What situation will help me to live my life, to take care of my family, to do the things that I used to do before? I was doing this debate in my mind, and my cousin too was doing the same thing. But by then, he was going around looking for ways for me to stay.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Wow.
He came back to me and said, I've tried, but there's nothing, right? We can do now. So he said, we have to look at you stating all what you have, because that's what they do. I go on the computers. There's a kind of platform where you can state your background, school, if you have foreign language. And by then it was points. You have points. Each of the items has a point. If you score, how much was the score? I don't even remember. But there's a certain score that will make you proceed with applying for status here.